guys, so welcome to yet another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. It's been a hot minute. This is actually the first one of 2024. For those that are maybe new to the channel or have, just joined within the past few months, WoW Weekly with Myst is a series that I've been running for a little over 5 years now. It runs every Monday, and I had taken the longest break I have ever taken from the series. The last video that I did for this series was just before Christmas, the week before. And at that point, it was the end of the year, and I was kind of off playing multiple games at that point. I wasn't super dedicated to only WoW. Because Dragonflight hasn't really super excited me. So I thought it was a great time to take a break. And I miss it, as always. I always miss doing the news for you guys. Nothing too terribly exciting is going on this week, you would think, right? Since I've decided to return the series, you would think there would be a super duper good reason for that, but there really isn't. I've been enjoying WoW again. But there is some news, so let's get into it. So for this week, we have Mythic Dungeons is the weekly, PvP Pet Battles is also the weekly, and the PvP Brawl will be Warsong Scramble. We also have Plunderstorm that is occurring. If you go into expansion features, you will see A World Awoken is a bunch of Dragonflight stuff that you will need to do to get Taven, who I'll slap a picture of down on the window here so you can see what he looks like. And yeah, so there's that. Clearly, I have a lot of catching up to do. And so this is the big meta achievement. I will be working on this in stream, so if anyone wants help, by all means, you can, tag along. The Shadowlands one is back. I remember that being very FOMO. I had halted it because I didn't want to go grind 80 renown levels on every covenant. I remember that was the reason. Every time I looked at that achievement. Yeah, so here I'll show you. So, as you can see, I have a lot done from that one, but ultimately, this is the one that got me to stop. I'm almost 80 on Kyrian. Venthar's very far away, and Necrolord's like halfway, and Night Fae is the one I was maining. And the reality is back in Shadowlands, I'm a completionist, right? So I was completing everything with Night Fae. And so I have all the Night Fae stuff, from transmogs to mounts to toys to pets to achievements. But by the time I finished that, the expansion was over, it was really tough to focus all four, right? So I guess it's time to go back to the Shadowlands one. So there is those two, but there is actually other achievements that were added. These are the two that get talked about a lot lately, but there are actually more. Across the Isles, there's another one, gets you Storm-Touched Bryphalon. And I got a lot to do there. But I got a few done, at least, I guess. And then there's also Wake Me Up. So that's another one, and that's going to get you Bestowed Ahuna Spotter. Centaur of Attention is another. Oh, I guess we could just, are they all in the same section? Okay, I guess I could just scroll down rather than typing them in. But Centaur of Attention, apparently I have nothing. There's got to be progress, though, right? Yeah, there is definitely progress. Army of the Fed. Oh, we're doing a little better on that one. That one gets you Bestowed Trawling Mammoth. Then there's Fight Club. Yeah, I gotta work on this one. So that one will get you the bestowed Audic Vanguard. And then the last one here is Closing Time. I guess it looks like I'm halfway. It's not bad, I guess. So this is for the Time Walkers. It will get you the bestowed Sand Skimmer. So there's a good chunk of reasons. Like if you're like me and, was off playing some other games, might be time to polish up those games, finish them off. It's funny because I just finished like the main one I was doing, and then I just added a new one that we're starting. But anyway, it may be time for you to complete that game that you're currently working on right now and then get your butt back into WoW, because there is a lot to do now. There always is. There always is a lot to do, but there's times in WoW where you're like, you know what? I've been playing for a long time. I can take a break. And then there's times where that doesn't even matter because there's a time crunch. Now, as far as I know, those will not go away like the Shadowlands did, but still, it's always good to do it. Like my personal advice, coming from someone who does a lot of achievements and has been playing the game from day one, is do it when it's hype. Because if any of that stuff requires groups, you're not going to find them very easily later on. One thing worth noting is that, like I said earlier, Dragonflight Dungeons is one of the weeklies this week. We go back to A World Awoken. That's this right here. So if you need to get that done, this week might be a great time to do your Dragonflight Dungeons. Not everyone is an M+ player, so some of you might be missing even a simple Mythic 0, right? So with that achievement, you don't have to do it on a Keystone. You can, of course, but it can be a Mythic 0 or a Keystone. Both will count towards that. So if you're not a Mythic Plus player, you can just do it nice and easy. An M0, it really isn't much tougher than a Heroic. So yeah, you'll be good. So on screen here is Fathom. He is a cute pet. Here's his abilities in case you want to actually use him in a pet battle. And I'll bring him out so you can see him a little bigger. So there he is. This is a Twitch drop. It has already started, so a good portion of you guys might already have it. I've been streaming all weekend for it. Minus Sundays, because Sundays are always my editing day. But yeah, you got tons of time for this guy. So yeah, if you haven't started to go get him, you got until April 5th. All you gotta do is watch any Twitch stream. So yeah, you get that for watching 4 hours, or you can also lurk. Just make sure you don't pause, because pausing the stream pauses the time. So you do need the stream to actually be running. Plunderstorm is an event that is going on. It kind of showed up with the newest patch. This event has a lot of pets, a lot of mounts. There's a toy there. You can actually get like a total of 750 trader tender as well. And yeah, so there's a bunch of reasons to actually do this event. Okay guys, so here is the main window for Plunderstorm. So over here to the left, we have the invite a friend. That's good for duos. You can actually group up for solos as well. Over here is your next reward that you would get, and you can also customize the character, but it does make you start from scratch. So you can make a character and then totally redo it, but you have to redo it. Like it's not like you can, for example, if I wanted to go change my hair color, I can't just go and change the hair color. I'd have to like completely redo, but the option is there if you wanted to do that. So we'll go in, and I'm just going to do solo for now. I usually do duos, but it's been a hot minute since I did solos. So, but yeah, D and I, who is Bat Mummy in YouTube, we usually do duos together. Okay, so in there for a solo. One of the reasons why I chose solo is because duos with like random people is kind of yeah. For the most part, they don't work together as a team. It's much better to choose a friend to go into duos with, because chances are they're gonna work as a team. But solos it is. And quickly before the match starts, right here is the guy you can talk to. You can choose a pet if you want. You can change your outfit. And that's about all I was able to show you. You have very limited time. These matches start really fast. Like, personally, I think all those options should be in the main screen before you enter a match, because you just don't have time. Okay, so for this part, one thing I have learned is that if you're the one steering, which you will be if you're solo, maybe if you're duo, don't land into an elite, okay? So you want to just land into like a regular mob. We'll get an item right off the bat, and elites are a guaranteed item. So you kind of waste your first item, like your first kill item, by landing into an elite. So that's how you want to do that. And basically what you want to do from here, and this applies too if you're in a duo, but you want to farm as much as you possibly can to get as much plunder. You also want to complete the quest. So we're gonna try to do that before we get spotted here. You can also double jump by clicking the space a couple of times. I've already done the daily for today, but the daily you want to do, it gets you 800 plunder. If you mouse over here, you can see your progress. We're probably gonna level this time around, and if you click on it, I haven't clicked on it since I've been leveling. I've leveled quite a bit since the last time I clicked on it. It's gonna not even finish. It's gonna load us in here. But that's your rewards. Oh, it stays on screen. It's just continuing right through. It goes all the way to 40. If you're a mount farmer, you're gonna be going to 39, but yeah, you might as well just go to 40. I did a video on that, so if you want to see what all those rewards are, you can totally do that. Oh, nice. This one's a nice, easy quest. So the quests change out. So every day you can get the daily. I've already done it. I came in with D for a bit earlier. But the daily will get you 800. Ooh, nice. First one was a rare. And then you can see up top it says 250. That is for our quest that you see at the right side that says World Quests. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, you want to do those. And that's basically all the tips to really give you. Each plunder is worth 1 rep. So right now we are going to get at least 327. Okay, and that got me to level 19 because we just needed like 100. And yeah, so that's basically it. And that's this area in a nutshell. You can get some pretty good rep. I kind of just quickly winged this part because literally I'm just doing it for the video, so I didn't really try to stay alive too terribly long in that match. But when you do try, you can end up with, I would say, 500 plus, 500. I would say 5 to 1,000 is like an average win. And then if you're doing really good, you can be earning over 1,000 per match. So it just really depends on your play style, a bit of luck, and a lot of luck, honestly, because sometimes it comes down to the weapons, the items that you're looting. Also, you need to level, right? Like, if a level 10 comes up to a level 2, that as you're leveling, you're gaining health and your abilities are getting stronger. So there is a reason for, say, a level 10 to beat a lower level, right? It's because they have more health, more power, and all that. And yeah, that's basically it. So that's the rundown of Plunderstorm. And of course, wins will get you more. But you still need to farm your plunder. Like, if you don't farm anything and you're not grabbing, like, all the stuff you can around the area and then you magically win, you're still gonna win with, like, less plunder than a lot of other people who won would have, right? So you definitely want to, be collecting. But speaking of winning, there is an achievement called Plunder Wonder if you do win a match. And speaking of achievements, they did recently release another feat of strength. And this one is one I'm personally not going to go after because I've decided I don't care about Plunderstorm that much. I like it. It's nice, but yeah, no way I'm doing this next one. But it is called Plunder Kind. And it's to collect 1 million plunder. As an example, by the time you hit the 40, which is where the rewards end, you would be at 100k. So yeah, you would basically need to do that 10 times. So yeah, that's why I was like, hell no. If they want me, even considering being that crazy, they're gonna have to make more rewards. So yeah, that's a huge no on my part, but good luck to any of you guys that are going after that. Also, since I am here, let's just do a quick little trip to remind you guys that the trading post is still here and time is running out. And this will be a bit of a spoil because I haven't actually posted my trading post video yet, so you're gonna see what I bought before I post that. But here's trading post, and you got all your items. I'll just quickly go through them, but all the items that you can grab for the trading post. So definitely don't forget to do that before March ends.
Come back again.
And then there also was the reward that you get. So there we go. Oh, it went away, but I think Teal or something was the pet's name. There he is. So that's what you get for completing the trading post. And yeah, this is your last week to do that. So definitely make sure you finish that up. And I will have my trading post video up on the channel shortly. I actually completed it in stream because I was doing the Trial of Style, and that's kind of what got me the rest of my points. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about some Season 4 stuff now. Season 4 is going to have some faded rewards. I'm not sure how I feel like about this one because I thought faded was cool in Shadowlands because it was new and unique, right? The minute they start recycling these unique ideas, then I start not thinking they're so cool anymore, right? So yeah, I don't like that now it seems like on top of getting KSM and AOTC at the end of expansions, we're now going to have these faded we need to go after, right? Like, yeah. So this is the mount you will be able to get. It's a Voyaging Wilderling's Harness. You will have to complete all 3 raids on normal difficulty. There's a title called Awakened Hero. That's to complete all 3 of those raids on heroic. And then there is the teleports. So you'll be able to have teleports to each one of those raids if you complete it on Mythic. On the talk of KSM, this is going to be the new KSM Mount. There's some new titles for the next patch, so these are them. I'll just pop it on screen. Also, something that is in the live version, I should have put it, at the beginning of the video, but I'm putting it here because I don't feel like dragging it over there. But this is another achievement. Now this is Dragon Racing. I didn't realize that I'm actually very close to completing that. Yeah, I guess I'll have to make sure I work on that one as well. But as you can see in there, you get the black scales for your Grotto Netherwing Drake. And then the last thing I thought we'd mention is the new Midsummer Holiday Dragon Riding manuscript that you'll be able to get. So this is it on screen here. And it will probably drop off the boss, because there is a boss you farm for that. And when is Midsummer? Let's check. Okay, so Midsummer is like mid-June. So that will be a while away, guys. But that is, another new dragon riding skin. I think it looks great. It looks very nice. But to be fair, I hate farming these things. I'm never gonna use them, yeah. Eventually we'll be able to go, at those kind of speeds with our regular mounts. And, while I like the dragon riding, the one I use is, here, I'll just land. So I use this guy and I love him, but I don't know if I'm going to use him when I can go fast on my other mounts. Because, literally, you just saw me in the air on my flight form. That is still the main mount I use on my druid. So, yeah. Yeah. As much as I love this guy, I still really just hop on him when I need to go fast. When all mounts can go fast, it'll be a different story, right? So, yeah. And by then, I didn't like dragon riding at the start of this expansion, and the only thing that made me somewhat like it was when they released the pre-purchase of the next expansion, and I got this guy, because that's how you get this guy. But yeah, he comes with the purchase of the War Within. So as far as how to get the Midsummer one, we don't know yet. It's really early. We're not even able to do that till June. So yeah, but I'll let you know when we get a little closer. My guess is it'll be the boss, though, because one thing I have noticed with pretty much all of these dragon riding skins is that if there's a boss tied to the event that you would usually like go in and queue into a boss, then it drops off that boss. If it's an event where there isn't like a queue that you do, then it's usually on the vendor. That's one thing I've discovered with these. So I think it's like a 99.9% chance we get this off the boss. Which is unfortunate because then you know how that's going to work. It'll be first kill of the day is, increased or whatever. It'll be low drop chance. Yeah, I definitely prefer to just buy them off the vendor. Okay, so for Myst's weekly challenges or accomplishments, it's the first video back in a few months, so I haven't really got any accomplishments for you guys. I did just recently complete the Kingdom Hearts playthrough of Chain of Memories, which is the second Kingdom Hearts game. The first one is also on the channel. I did that a few years back. So if you're interested in that, feel free to watch that. I will have more of that series coming up on the channel later. But that is completed, and that was like a 6-month process for me because when you play an MMO mainly, it can get in the way of you doing other games. Not to mention, I also have some other games in the mix like Disney and all that. I just started a new playthrough on the channel for Elden Ring. So as far as goals, Plunderstorm, I want to finish off. We're almost halfway there. I'm sitting at level 18 right now. So yeah, I'm anticipating probably another couple of weeks because I'm not rushing it. So yeah, probably another couple of weeks. By the time the Twitch drops is done, which will work perfectly because people want to see Plunderstorm right now, for the most part, because it's the new content. So that works. So that is my goal. I want to get to 40 for that, and then I'll probably be done with Plunderstorm. And then I want to start working on the meta. And then also, this is a non-WoW thing, but my Disney Dreamlight Valley that I play, it's got a star pass that's ending real soon here. So that is another goal. I may have to actually sneak that in before we start the meta. Just because I think it's down to the last 2 weeks, so it's ending very, very soon. So yeah, those are my major goals right now. I would say overall for this week's goals, just some more levels in Plunderstorm, yeah. But yeah, so that's my accomplishments, my goals, and pretty minimal right now because, Plunderstorm is gonna take a hot minute, and yeah, so it's kind of like the only goal this week. Just to get as far as we possibly can. So that's all I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're happy to see WoW Weekly back. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.